Breaking news, they've now confirmed that Celeste had multiple fake identification cards. In addition to that, David's friends who are familiar with the two said that they believed they were a couple and that she was 19.
Breaking news! It's now confirmed that Celeste was carrying multiple fake IDs, and that's just the beginning. Sources close to David say his circle believed he and Celeste were actually dating, and everyone thought she was 19. But now, with the new evidence coming to light, things are looking really bad for David. Allegedly, he's knee-deep in covering things up, even trying to cut his own family out of his inheritance. What's going on behind the scenes is wild. We've also got fresh reports about Celeste herself.
David, aka D4vd, was allegedly bragging about the hundreds of hours of child that he has in his possession.
And while we can't go over every single update, there's a lot to unpack today. Buckle up because this story is twisting fast. Now, one of the biggest reasons David might not get away with this is because he simply can't keep his mouth shut.
This is the same man who police just found the butt of a child in the trunk of his car. And now he's bragging about having child. And the blind item reads, the found in the trunk rapper once bragged about having hundreds of hours of corn, many featuring underage girls.
People close to him are saying that he's been bragging online, reposting videos, and even hinting at violent behavior toward her. Like he was straight up saying things along the lines of, if she leaves me, I'll make her regret it. Who even says that publicly? David's been going viral on Twitter again, and not for the right reasons. Every few weeks, his name pops back up and people are shocked all over again. For those who somehow missed it, police reportedly found the body of a young girl just around 5 years old in the back of his car. That's beyond disturbing. The internet has been screaming justice for Celeste, and honestly...
Again, this is allegedly David, aka D4vd. And the related headline reads, David reportedly cancels U.S. tour after body of a 15-year-old girl is found in his impounded car. Police search his home in Hollywood.
Everyone just wants to see her get the justice she deserves. But get this, he's trending again because folks think David's out here trying to cover up his alleged crime. People online notice strange behavior, deleting old posts, blocking fans, acting paranoid. And it's making the situation look even darker. And remember that wild moment when his family got swatted? That whole thing was a mess. I don't care what anyone thinks about them. No one deserves that. Seriously, people gotta chill. Yeah, there's tons of drama and rumors swirling around them, but let's keep it real. Unless there's proof, there's no reason to be sending hate or threats. We've said it before, don't attack the family right now. Until there's solid confirmation of who did what, harassing people who might be innocent just makes the situation worse. There's a lot of theories flying around about what this could actually mean, and honestly, I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, not just for engagement, but because this whole situation is confusing as hell. What's David really trying to do here? Maybe he's trying to make sure his benefits go to his mom, or maybe he already knows he's done for and just wants to protect her financially. I don't know his true intention, but something about it feels calculated. If anyone watching this actually knows legal stuff, lawyers, law students, whatever, please weigh in. People on Twitter are saying all kinds of wild things, but at this point, I don't know what's fact or fiction anymore.
Multiple fake identification cards. In addition to that, David's friends who are familiar with the two said that they believed they were a couple and that she was 19.
And there's another theory popping off on TikTok. People think this could be part of some strategic move. Like maybe he's transferring things to his mom's name, so if he goes down, at least she keeps some of his money. Others are saying it could be a sneaky loophole move, basically hiding assets under someone else's name so the law can't touch them later. That would be next level shady if true. Honestly, that says everything about David's mindset right there. This dude's been acting completely out of control lately. Like, what was he even thinking? People keep tossing around theories about his motives, but and I gotta say allegedly so nobody sues me, if he really did what people are accusing him of, then it looks like this man was desperate for attention. Because seriously, how do you make things so obvious? You're out here putting a girl who clearly looks stressed and uncomfortable in your music video, dropping songs with creepy lyrics that seem dedicated to her, and then reposting dark stuff online about hurting someone if they leave you? That's not art. That's a cry for help, and a dangerous one. Like, come on, it couldn't have been more telling. It's almost like he didn't even believe anyone would ever catch him. Maybe he thought his fame, or what was left of it, made him untouchable. But reality check, the internet catches everything. This man's arrogance might have been the very thing that exposed him. And let's talk about that Here With Me song. It's genuinely emotional, and I'm glad Ron Mango covered it, because the version he did shows how powerful the music could have been without all the darkness behind it. But just to be clear, no one's glorifying David here. Yeah, he definitely had talent. No one can deny that. And honestly, I feel bad for everyone who truly loved that song. because now it's completely tainted. What once felt emotional and pure now carries such a dark, disgusting meaning behind it. That's heartbreaking. The music video looked so wholesome at first glance. I remember watching it years back and thinking it was sweet. But now, knowing what we know, it just feels wrong. It really seems like David was starving for attention. Every move he made screamed desperation.
Item reads, the found in the trunk rapper once bragged about having hundreds of hours of corn, many featuring underage girls.
Maybe it wasn't just about fame. Maybe he was flat out obsessed with her. He couldn't stop himself from writing about her, hinting at her, and making it so painfully obvious who he was talking about. Like, who does that? It's beyond creepy. At this point, I don't even know what was going on in his head. Was he aware of what he was doing? Or was it just his ego driving him straight into chaos? Because if this was supposed to be some kind of artistic expression, it crossed every possible line. And to be real, I don't think people who once worked or took photos with him deserve all the hate. A lot of these creators, streamers, and influencers meet hundreds of people. They don't really know who everyone is behind the scenes. I remember when he did that collab on TikTok and people instantly flooded the girl's comment section with nasty stuff. They were saying things like, you knew David, you were part of this. Like, come on, that's wild. She just made a video with him. The guy had major hits back then, so of course people wanted to work with him. That doesn't mean she had any clue what was really going on behind closed doors. Seriously, people need to chill before pointing fingers. I don't even watch that streamer everyone keeps mentioning, but just because someone filmed a TikTok or shared a stage with David once doesn't mean they were in on anything. It's crazy how fast the internet jumps from innocent collab to you're guilty too. Like, slow down. And another weird part of this story, David's account. No one really knows who's running it right now. Some people say it's still him, others think it got hacked, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised either way. After everything blew up, that account gained a ton of new followers overnight. But the stuff being posted lately, it doesn't even sound like him anymore, which makes it all feel even sketchier.
Since he transferred his Houston houses to his mother's name, what do you guys think this means for David's future?
Again, this is allegedly David, aka D4vd. And the related headline reads, David reportedly cancels U.S. tour after body of a 15-year-old girl is found in his impounded car. Police search his home in Hollywood Hills. U.S. tour after body of a 15-year-old girl is found in his impounded car. Police search his home in Hollywood Hills.
What's really catching people's attention, though, is that there might have been folks who knew what was happening long before any of this became public. I swear, what she said makes total sense. Even though she's not a lawyer, she's spot on. Anyone else in this exact situation would have been done for already. Like, you can't just walk away from something like this when the evidence is stacked sky high against you. It's honestly wild to watch how this is all playing out. And let's be real. What do you even say at this point? It's barely even up for debate anymore. Sure, there's a few diehard defenders still trying to back him up online, but come on. The facts are all out there. It's insane to me how this man is still walking free when everything is pointing straight at him. It's giving major money and power vibes for real. She even hinted at that herself, that something deeper must be protecting him. Because seriously, who else could dodge consequences like this unless they had serious connections or cash behind the scenes? The coincidences don't add up, or not even close. For him to be innocent, it would have to be the most unbelievable twist in modern history. And I'll be honest, I don't see him getting the full punishment he deserves. I just don't. People with his kind of status, money, and fame never really face the same justice regular folks do. I just really hope Celeste gets the justice she deserves. She was so young, full of life, and didn't deserve any of this. But honestly, I can't lie.
Article from TMZ, it states that up at the top, David is making some real estate moves as cops investigate the passing of Celeste Rivas, who was discovered in his Tesla. Then at the bottom it states that he transferred 2 of his Texas homes to his mother. The article also goes on to state that this information was discovered in new legal documents obtained by TMZ. It also says the singer to transfer the deeds of 2 Houston area residences he owns under a trust to his mother. Now, it's very clear what David is doing. He is transferring his assets to his mother. So, if a lawsuit comes up and he gets potentially sued, they can't take anything from him because nothing is under his name.
Sometimes I start to lose faith because when people like him have money, connections, and influence, the system tends to bend in their favor. And if somehow he doesn't face the full consequences in court, then I hope the guilt haunts him forever. I hope every single day he's reminded of what he did to that sweet, innocent girl. Now, there's been a lot of talk about whether his lyrics can actually be used against him, and that's where things get tricky. People in the comments were debating it last time. And yeah, it's a fair question. I remember hearing about Eminem's old court case. I think it was against his mom or his childhood bully. where the court ruled that his lyrics couldn't be used as evidence. Basically, the judge said it
under
was
his mother's
artistic
name, which
expression, not a
cannot take
confession.
from her. I just feel like this is very telling, and I also feel like this is something an innocent person would not be doing, and it just really makes David look guilty. And he's just trying to save his assets in case he's taken to court and whatnot. So very telling once again. I'm curious to know your thoughts.
And that's the scary part, because that same rule might protect David. Even though people keep pointing out how his songs seem to describe what allegedly happened, the law might still treat them as just music. Like, come on, if you're rapping or singing about something that sounds like a real event, how can that not count? But legally, it's super complicated. Imagine being the interviewer who sat across from David. What's going through your head right now? That's gotta be haunting. I remember watching that interview back when it first dropped, and people were already side-eyeing it because there were so many strange coincidences, if you can even call them that. The whole thing almost felt like he was confessing right on camera, but nobody realized it at the time. Just picture being that same interviewer now, replaying every word, every look, every weird pause.
It's obtained by DMZ. It also says the singer to transfer the deeds of 2 Houston area residences he owns under a trust to his mother. Now, it's very clear what David is doing. He is transferring his assets to his mother. So, if a lawsuit comes up and he gets potentially sued, they can't take anything from him because nothing is under his name.
Thinking, how did I miss that? That's the kind of thing that would eat at you for years. Because looking back, it's hard not to see the red flags that were right there in plain sight. And then there's the coffin stunt at his concerts that went viral for all the wrong reasons now. Back then, people thought it was deep, maybe even emotional, like he was doing something symbolic about loss and saying goodbye. But now, it just feels straight up disturbing. I remember those TikToks going around. People were like, wow, that's creative, or that's such a powerful idea. But looking at it now, it's got a totally different vibe, and not in a good way. It doesn't seem sweet or artistic anymore. The more you learn about this guy, the more you wish you didn't. Every new article, every podcast, every clip, every lyric, it just makes you feel like you're sinking deeper into something dark and twisted. It's like the more you uncover, the more you wish you could unsee it all. I swear, just reading about him gives me one of the creepiest feelings ever. Like something about him is just off.
His curly hair, a white flower in her hair, and it is a montage of them running on the beach, running through water. He's singing to her, watch the sunrise along the coast as we're both getting old. A lot of people say with the resemblance of the love interest, it feels like an obsession with Celeste because why does it look like Celeste? The lyrics are, and if it's right, I don't care how long it takes. As long as I'm with you, I've got a smile on my face. Previously, all the comments on this music video were about sharing how people went through their loss with this song. Some people were talking about how they got married to this song.
There are way too many so-called coincidences for any of this to actually be a coincidence. It's almost like he was battling his own guilt. Like deep down, he knew he did something terrible and was trying to mask it behind his art. But make no mistake, nothing this man's done has been wholesome or meaningful. Every sweet moment fans once thought was heartfelt now looks tainted, twisted, and calculated. And honestly, let's just call it like it is. This dude is not a good person. People can debate all they want, but there's no defending his behavior at this point. He wasn't out here making songs because he loved life or wanted to inspire anyone. No, everything he touched had some ugly story or dark reason behind it.
Now, what do you see the comments now?
Yeah, people are just, they read, I don't care how long it takes. Hits a lot darker when you realize David wrote it about waiting for Celeste to be of age, except he didn't actually wait. Another comment reads, as we're both getting old, bro, she will never grow old. Even monsters make beautiful music. What a crazy world we live in. Rest in peace, little girl. Another reads, a demon with the voice of an angel has never felt so real before.
It's wild how he fooled everyone into thinking he was just proud of his journey or his art, when in reality, it was all a front. Behind every lyric, every video, every emotional moment, there's something disturbing hiding underneath. You can't tell me this man didn't know what was coming. Those lyrics were way too specific, way too personal, especially the ones that seemed directly dedicated to her. It's like he was basically writing his own confession, hiding in plain sight. I honestly believe he knew he was gonna get caught. Maybe not the exact day or the exact way, but deep down, he had to know it was coming. Think about it. If he really did what people are accusing him of, maybe he was sitting there at his own concert waiting for that exact moment when the news would break. Maybe he knew the discovery was inevitable, and instead of stopping, he decided to keep releasing more and more songs, like he wanted to build his own twisted legacy before everything fell apart. That's why his lyrics got darker, his performances got weirder, and his behavior started spiraling. It's almost like he figured
the sunrise along the coast as we're both getting old. A lot of people say with the resemblance of the love interest, it feels like an obsession with Celeste because why does it look like Celeste? The lyrics are, and if it's right, I don't care how long it takes. As long as I'm with you, I've got a smile on my face. Previously, all the comments on this music video were about sharing how people went through their loss with this song. Some people were talking about how they got married to this song.
well, if I'm going down, at least people will be talking about my music. That's the kind of sick fame obsession that makes you wonder what was really going on inside his head. Because those coffin stage props, those creepy visuals, they weren't random. It's giving full-on ritual vibes. He knew something was coming, and he wanted the world watching when it did. I remember saying this before, like, we can't be the ones trying to play detective here. The internet can't arrest anyone, can't build cases, can't drag people into court. That's what the professionals are supposed to do. We just gotta trust that the investigators are doing their job properly this time. Yeah, maybe they've fumbled cases in the past, but hopefully this time they're just quietly building a solid case against him. And honestly, that might even explain why he's been moving money around, allegedly shifting assets under his mom's name. Maybe he knows what's coming and he's trying to protect his stuff before it all collapses. I just hope it's not some shady trick to dodge justice, because if he really did what they say, there's no excuse for him walking away from this. When the news first broke, not even the full story, just the detail that a body was found in his car, the internet went into shock. I remember people flooding his comments saying stuff like, "Say it isn't true," or "We know he's innocent, but we can't prove it." It was almost like denial.
Is anyone else wondering why David hasn't been arrested for the murder last yet? I've been a lawyer for 23 years, all of which in California, in Los Angeles, in criminal law, Northern criminal law. That's my expertise. And I'll tell you this, if you found yourself with a child in your backseat who was reported kidnapped or missing a year ago, you'd be in jail. So what is taking them so long to arrest David is the question. On the LADA, you may not know this, but the LADA has a bit of a history of fumbling big cases. Most notably the O.J. Simpson case they lost like 30 years ago.
People didn't want to believe that someone they supported, someone they listened to, could be capable of something so dark. I keep wondering what happens if he somehow walks free. Like, imagine the worst possible scenario where all the charges just disappear and he's out here living life like nothing happened. Would he actually keep releasing music after all this? Because let's be real, even if he avoided prison, his reputation is completely destroyed. There's no coming back from something like this, no matter how much money or power you got. But it does make you think, if he did get off scot-free, would he still try to rebuild his career? Would he just drop another song like the internet forgot everything? And honestly, as gross as it sounds, I bet he'd still have some fans left. The world's messed up like that. No matter how bad someone screws up, there's always a few die-hard followers making excuses for them. He'd never get another real collab again, but those few delusional fans, they'd probably still stream his songs just to support their favorite. It's disturbing.
And most recently, the A$AP Rocky case they lost. So I think that they're probably being very careful with a high-profile individual who has access to funds. They want their ducks in a row, and my instinct is telling me that they either have an issue with cause of death, like how did she die? Perhaps the body was in no state to do an autopsy, who knows, right? That, or they're looking for a special circumstance, meaning they're looking for a reason to seek capital punishment, or AKA the death penalty. And so, because if you have the death penalty, then you don't get bail. And so they'll keep David inside.
The worst part is, David was good at playing a role. Like, he almost convinced people he was this deep, emotional, soft-spoken artist. He had this charm that made people drop their guard. Yeah, tons of artists make romantic or emotional songs. That's normal in the industry. But for him, there was always something more sinister hiding behind those lyrics. It wasn't just art. It felt personal, calculated, and obsessive. It still blows my mind that he claimed to be a Christian while living such a double life. He'd go online and preach to his followers about faith, love, and purity, acting like he was some humble man of God. Then he'd turn around and drop romantic songs like Here With Me, which used to seem so emotional and sincere.
Most notably, the O.J. Simpson case they lost like 30 years ago. Of the case. So that's my thought. What do you guys think? Why haven't they arrested him yet? Let me know. They're looking for a special circumstance, meaning they're looking for a reason to seek capital punishment, or AKA the death penalty. And so, because if you have the death penalty, then you don't get bail. And so they'll keep David inside.
But now, knowing what we know, it just feels disgusting. Back then, people thought it was sweet, even wholesome. The music video looked innocent, soft, loving, but now it's impossible to watch without feeling sick. This guy was out here singing non-stop about how much he loved her, how beautiful she was, how perfect her smile and hair were. In that song, Celeste, he just wouldn't stop describing her like she was a literal angel. But then you step back and think, how could someone say all that, then allegedly do something so evil to the same person? Like, how does that even make sense? You don't hurt someone you claim to love that much. Whatever that was, it wasn't love, it was control, obsession, and something way darker.
Last song is Afterlife. Notable lyrics read, "Something's missing from inside of me. Someone stole what wasn't mine. The devil told me you were good for me. My mother told me he would lie. What doesn't kill you waits for later. What tries to keep you alive fails. I thought a girl would make me happy. Real love is not for sale. And when I die, I'll love you from the afterlife." He says the last song on the project, Afterlife, quote, "It's kind of that big moment of the carrying of the casket kind of thing." Zach Sang is asking him, so at what stage of withered is dying?
And now the internet's made things even crazier. There are fake accounts pretending to be her family, posting fake screenshots, fake messages, even fake photos. It's gotten completely out of hand. You can't even tell what's real anymore because people are chasing clout off someone's tragedy. It's heartbreaking and disgusting. It's honestly heartbreaking because this whole situation shows just how little people actually care anymore. Everything's become a chase for attention, no matter how tragic or serious the story is. People will make up straight lies, fake screenshots, and spread wild rumors just to get a few clicks or views, even when it's about something as devastating as this. It's disgusting. And she was right. This is exactly what AI has made worse. The mix of artificial images, fake messages, and short attention spans has created the perfect storm of misinformation. Social media is built for fast reactions, not facts. 1 minute you're scrolling, and suddenly a completely fake photo or story is everywhere, and people just believe it.
Going into dust, but you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through these 14 records? It's definitely a resurrection type of thing, but by the end of the project, it's done. So that's why the last track is called Afterlife. That's the final blow. It's a whole different layer of depth of an album. I feel like, especially for me, when I'm having dialogue now and things that add to the story, I'm talking about the invisible string theory. I really want the listeners to feel like they're reading a book almost. And they get into a different chapter with every song. But there's also kind of this pause where they can take every song in and by itself and then have this kind of visual landscape and this interlude to kind of be in my head, in my mindset.
At least on Twitter, there's that community notes feature that sometimes catches it. I've seen posts with what looked like real photos of him with Celeste, and then the notes pop up saying, "This is AI generated," with links proving it. But on TikTok, it's chaos. You might get a few people in the comments calling it out, but most users never even check the comments. That's how fast lies spread now, before the truth even has a chance to breathe. And when you mix that with AI tools that can make any fake message, photo, or voice, plus how short everyone's attention span is, man, it's dangerous. It's like the deadliest combo in modern media. These viral moments get massive attention, and while the story deserves awareness,
project like this and how everything just went to keep them even more interested and connected throughout the project. Which I will say, listeners are more interested and more connected than any project I've ever seen. In one of those, like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" He talks about his Withered album and he says,
"My first project, my first fully fleshed out project, it kind of encapsulates my whole life. I'm excited to see what my fans think about it and how they relate to it on a personal level."
Which, by the way, Afterlife, people have been, okay, there is this performance, his live performance in Houston where he sings Afterlife. He's breaking down. Going into dust, but you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through these 14 records? It's definitely a resurrection type of thing, but by the end of the project, it's done.
At least on Twitter, there's that community notes feature that sometimes catches it. I've seen posts with what looked like real photos of him with Celeste, and then the notes pop up saying, "This is AI generated," with links proving it. But on TikTok, it's chaos. You might get a few people in the comments calling it out, but most users never even check the comments. That's how fast lies spread now, before the truth even has a chance to breathe. And when you mix that with AI tools that can make any fake message, photo, or voice, plus how short everyone's attention span is, man, it's dangerous. It's like the deadliest combo in modern media. These viral moments get massive attention, and while the story deserves awareness, it also opens the door for endless fake stories, rumors, and clout chasing. People will fake anything for attention these days. Screenshots, messages, DMs, you name it.
People,
When was this Houston performance?
like a few months ago.
Oh.
It was recent, and he's breaking down. And people thought initially it's because it's in Houston. That's, you know, his hometown where his music career started. Well, his hometown is New York, Queens, but he moved to Houston. That's where his music career started. So people are like, whoa, is this his I made it moment? Because people love when musicians look out on stage or they start sobbing on stage like, I made it, I finally made it, right? But people are saying now it's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. And like, maybe it's not just being in Houston. Like maybe Houston, there's so many emotional ties. And then this song, and then I don't know. People are saying it could be a mixture of everything. It could just be Houston. It could be just the song. It could be a mixture of everything. It says this album is like the closing of a chapter, especially for my main fans, which adds to everyone's theory of like he planned it. He knew that he was going to get caught. Or like maybe he didn't plan that he was going to get caught, but he knew he was going to get caught because you don't really just get away with something. That's what some people are theorizing.
That's exactly why I've started being way more careful about what I share. Because honestly, anyone can whip up something fake in minutes, make it look real, and then watch it go viral. It's scary how easy it is to twist the truth now. Like that recent joke post going around about the Tesla in the back of his car. Yeah, that one. It was supposed to be some kind of dark humor, but come on, this is not the time for that. I didn't find it funny at all. Maybe it started as a joke, but the problem is there are always people who believe it. I'm actually glad someone spoke up about it because there were definitely a few folks online thinking it was real. The messed up part, the whole thing went viral just because it played off his song In the Back of My Mind, which used to be one of his romantic hits. Now it just sounds straight up disturbing. But honestly, the only thing worse than misinformation are the people making jokes about this tragedy. Like, seriously? Turning something this dark and painful into TikTok content is beyond disrespectful. I've seen videos where people try to make jokes about what happened, acting like it's just another trending topic. That's not edgy, that's heartless. Some of the stuff people are posting is absolutely sickening. I've seen TikToks talking about her death in graphic detail, describing her in the most disgusting, disrespectful ways, and those videos are getting tens of thousands of likes. Like, how is that even okay? That's not content, that's cruelty. It's beyond messed up to use a tragedy like this for view.
Alright guys, so we have a new update regarding 14-year-old Celeste or Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and we also do have some new updates on David himself. This video is more so going to be like an explainer video because I want to break down every single thing that's going on. So bear with me and let's get right into it. So here's what's raising major red flags for everyone. As reported by TMZ, David is making some real estate moves as cops investigate the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, who's the Tesla. He transferred 2 of his Texas homes to his mother. That her body was found in his car opens the door for multiple felonies.
Look, misinformation is dangerous, yeah? But this kind of thing, this is pure disrespect. It's not edgy. It's not dark humor. It's just flat out disgusting. You're not being funny when you turn someone's trauma into entertainment. She lost her life. This isn't some story for clicks or jokes. People need to remember there's a real family behind all this. People who are grieving, hurting, and trying to make sense of something horrific. Even if you think your post is harmless, just stop and think. Imagine if this was your sister, your daughter, your friend.
Have tampering with evidence, moving or cleaning anything in the trunk. Accessory after the fact, which means helping cover up the crime or hide someone else's involvement. Use of a corpse or improper disposal, meaning concealing a body instead of reporting it. Or obstruction of justice, which is giving false statements or delaying cooperation. And yes, the car itself can also be seized through civil forfeiture. Prosecutors use these charges all the time when a murder conviction is harder to prove. But post-crime, which means after crime actions, show clear involvement. Now, to add the disturbing context, Ms. Rivas was reportedly around 14 or 15 traveling from Lake Elsinore to Hollywood to see him.
You wouldn't find it funny then, right? It's heartbreaking to even imagine what her loved ones are going through. Having to see people twist her story into memes and dark humor trends. That's not comedy. That's cruelty disguised as content. I truly wish Celeste's family strength and peace through all of this. They didn't ask for any of this chaos and they deserve better. Let me know in the comments what you think about these new updates, especially that whole asset transfer situation, because that's definitely suspicious and telling. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart, and always lead with empathy.
If there is any evidence of a relationship David could also face unlawful sex. Now, let's include the fact because she was a minor and considered a runaway, any supposed consent doesn't matter legally. She couldn't give it because she was underage. If evidence shows that he transported her across city or state lines for that relationship, it could escalate to transporting a federal trafficking charges depending on what's uncovered. So, between asset transfers, the body in his vehicle, and the potential relationship with a minor, this legal exposure is enormous.